Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. I am good. I am just having a smoothie.
Mhm.
We're on this smoothie journey, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I've mixed it up a bit and I've put a kiwi in
Okay,
with the skin.
that's interesting. What made you do that?
So Dale was like, you could bought me some kiwis. He was like, apparently the kiwi skin is really, really good for you.
Okay.
So I thought I'd just report in and say it's good, but it's a little furry.
I was going to say, how does that how does that taste?
The taste is good, the texture, not so
Texture,
much.
yeah.
But I actually just had a look and it's really good for vitamin E, so
Okay.
antioxidants. That's the right
Yeah.
word, isn't it?
Yeah.
And for your immune system. So I am mixing it up this morning.
There you go. There you go. Learn something new every day, guys, don't we?
Yeah.
Put your kiwi skin in your smoothie, but mind the texture.
Yeah. I mean, I do cut off the ends because that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother would eat a kiwi just like an apple. And I was like, that's crazy.
Oh wow.
But I'm technically doing the same thing, but just in a smoothie.
Yeah, just disguising it.
But I'm determined to get my skin good because
Yeah,
it's not been great. So yeah,
yeah.
so
Our
that's
skin,
me.
our skin tells a lot of stories of what's going on, doesn't it? I always find that my skin is. I feel like
Yeah.
my skin is a reflection of if I'm eating poorly, if I'm not exercising, if I'm not good in my mind health. My skin goes
Yeah.
and
Not
shows
feeling it.
me. No, no. So there we
See,
go.
this is a weird one for me though. I think it's maybe more hormonal because
Mm,
I've never had the bad skin and technically I'm doing all the right things right now, but it's just not having it. So
yeah,
I will report back on the kiwi skin.
yeah. Please do. Oh, so how was your week last week? You were a
Um,
busy bee, I hear.
yes, I was a busy bee. I was in a writing course with an incredible publishing house, Hay House, who is my dream of just being published with. And this is what we're going to talk about today, isn't it?
It is,
Are we
yeah.
are we just diving straight in?
Shall we?
Yeah. Oh, I feel
Yeah.
like we should have done this the other way around. Fill me in on your week first, please,
Well,
because
I
you've
was
had an
in,
incredible one.
yeah, Barcelona.
Love it.
5 days, me and my husband Mark, 4 nights, 5 days trip, just the two of us. First time out the country together in 10 years. Um, so yeah, it was before the kids, we went away together. And oh my gosh, it was just absolutely everything. It really was.
Oh,
It was just not having to do anything at any particular time, just that
yeah.
complete freedom. Absolutely reignited my love for art. We went to the Picasso Museum, went to the Sagrada Familia, just all the incredible sights of Barcelona. We just wandered. We ate the most amazing tapas, which, as you know, we've got a tapas restaurant, which was incredible.
Yeah.
So much inspiration there. We sat in the markets eating with the locals.
Mm.
We really treated ourselves to a 3 Michelin star experience as well, which was
Ooh,
absolutely, it blew us out of this world. We've done
did
a couple
it?
of Michelin star restaurants in the UK, but we've never done 3 star. And when we booked Barcelona, Mark was like, I found this restaurant. I was like, go on, tell me about it.
Mm.
And at first I was a bit like, can we do that really? Can we do that? Like go up another 2 levels. Anyway, we did it. It was a lifetime experience, and oh my gosh, it was just absolutely everything.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, just a really chilled, but we walk miles. Chilled week, but we walk miles. Um, and just reflect. Actually, I reflected this morning in our weekly practice how this whole like notion of productivity, like we kind
Hmm.
of, you know, look at if we're not being productive, then we're just not feeling good. And actually, even though I obviously wasn't working last week, it was a really productive week in the sense that we were resting and we were doing nice things just for the fun and for the pleasure of it and just having that
Yeah.
leisure time. And that is productive. Like
You were
it was a
living.
really productive, we were living. And I've come back just so deeply grateful because I was reading my book, The Presence Process, while I was out there as well. Just like wake up in the morning, just have the sun beaming through the hotel
Mm.
curtains, sipping a fresh coffee, reading my book. I'm like, living the dream.
Yeah.
And yeah, this book that I'm reading is incredible. It's a deep read, but it's amazing. And yeah, I've just come back with so much gratitude for all that is.
Yeah.
And yeah, just feeling
Feeling
really great.
good. And I
Yeah,
think
really recharged.
there's something to that, like you say, like productivity. No, you weren't necessarily working, but what we're both seeing is we've got to allow ourselves space. If we just
Mm,
do, we just burn out. Like our ideas get smaller and smaller. And actually having space, like time to look up, time to live, like that is where the more magical ideas come from and where the belief comes from and where like all that we're searching for comes from. And we've both been reading really similar books. So you've been The Presence Process and I'm The Power of Now. And it is like the now, the moment that you guys all have listening to this, the moment that we're talking like this is the only moment we have. Like it
yeah.
literally is like, this is life right now. Life isn't in 10 minutes time. Life is now. So like
Mm,
it's bringing ourselves back to this moment right now, isn't it? And going all in on this
yeah.
moment, like not holding back on us talking right now and enjoying the process. And when you're listening, like look up and see what's around you as you listen and absorbing the words and just all that. That's living, isn't it?
Mm.
I
And
think
something you
some
just said, sorry, something you just said actually about the space, the
yeah,
spaciousness. Like I've had over these 5 days away, I've had that space to stop and to reflect and
yeah,
have that awareness. And like you said, if we're human beings, we're not human doings. And if we keep doing,
hmm
when are we ever giving ourselves a breath and
yeah,
a moment to stop and pause and go, am I on the right track? Am I
mhm,
aligned? Am I making the choices that are leading me to the life that I want to live?
yeah.
And just you've said this many a times, stopping, how do you say it? You said something like stopping speeds up or something.
Stop.
Sorry.
It's okay. Stop more to live more.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah. And
And
that
it's
is it. Like, oh, that little quote. That's the little story behind that quote always like warms my heart. So this is when I first set out on my Instagram journey. And a lady reached out and she was putting positive quotes like together. And I didn't realize what she was asking of people is to basically send their favorite quote. But at the time, I thought she meant create a quote. And I was literally, oh my gosh, I was in my head overthinking it. I was like, this has got to be really good, like all of this kind of thing. And I came to that and I was like, huh, stop more to live more. That's what I'm doing.
yeah,
That's my mission. Anyway, I sent it and she was like, you didn't have to create your own.
but even better that you have, and I hope you're credited for that. That's incredible. That's incredible.
So it has
Stop
a
more
little,
to live more. Yeah,
yeah, I have it framed downstairs and it always makes me smile because I just think, oh, just at the beginning of that journey, I just went all in. Just,
yeah.
and you're just like
Love it. Love
but it's
it.
still so relevant to today. That's what I do every day. Like stop more, slow down, look
Yeah.
up, live, like literally. And I always think this with the girls as well, because I feel like I've been struggling a bit patience wise, struggling a bit like, trying to entertain and like be there. And like I'm just like, they are never going to be this age that they are today ever
Mm,
again. And it's such a realization, isn't it? That
mm,
just takes me down a peg or two. And I'm like, just be there, Charlotte. Like yesterday, I think I was in a bit of headspace where I was like, oh, we need to do something. We need to get out the house. Like they're going to be bored. Like, and I was just like, no, we can be in the house. We can spend time together and we can still have a lovely day. Um, so yeah, kind of gone around the houses on that one. But yeah, stop more to live more. Like
yeah.
absolutely. We're never gonna have this moment right here again.
We're not, are we? And
No.
it's seeing that
Mm,
in every moment of every day. What a wonderful
yeah.
thought.
Yeah. So
So, where are we going today? What's our hot topic for today?
so we've been on this topic a little bit about choice, and this is kind of the next level of choice, isn't it? When we can be doing all of this work, all of this inner work, making these better choices, deciding to look after ourselves more, maybe doing a bit of the mindset work, journaling, all these things. And what can happen sometimes is we reach a point where we're just like, what's the point? none of this is having any effect. Like, I just feel exactly the same. I feel frustrated. Like, this isn't, moving me. And I think the thing that I have learned in this process is that is the moment that you have to let go and trust even more than ever. Because every single better choice, every single piece of work that we do with our mind and our mindset, it's doing something. We might not always be able to see it, but it accumulates and then something drops in. And this really happened for me recently, where I, as many of you know, or if you listen to this for the first time, one of my dreams is to write a book, which I'm in the process of doing. And I have been in the process of doing probably for about a year now, really. And I haven't made too much progress, if I'm honest with you. I've done a few drafts of the first couple of chapters. I've gone to read them back and they're not hitting the mark. Like, and you're like, you have a recipe. And I'm like, there is something missing and I don't know what it is. But it's been fine because I've recognized that is part of the journey. I'm not going to, write a book like that when I don't know how to write a book and just expect to, write a top seller, just, like that. But what has happened was I put it out into the universe that I would love to work with Hay House, which is an incredible publishing house that obviously publishes some incredible self-development books. We have their app, don't we, which we use regularly, which we totally recommend. It's called Empower You, and you gain access to a whole host of audiobooks, meditations, immersive learnings, Hay House Radio, lots of different stuff. And I just thought one day something hit me and I was like, I'm just going to tell them how amazing their app is because it's really, really helped me. And they got straight back to me. I was not even expecting a response, if I'm honest. I just thought, what one of my values is to tell people when they've had an impact on me, because I just feel like when we get that back, I find that it makes our day, doesn't it? So I did that. And anyway, they got straight back to me and they offered me a ticket on their writing course. And I was over the moon. And it wasn't until a little time after, I think it was when it was sinking in, like, I'm doing this because of the timings as well. It meant that it was 10 p.m. UK time till 1 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I just sat up and went, Charlotte, you've just got yourself a ticket on this course. You put it out into the universe that you wanted to work with Hay House. This opportunity has come in. Like, how amazing is that? And no, it wasn't in the form of a publishing contract, which maybe was when I first set that intention, was maybe what I was thinking.
Can I just add the word yet to that?
Yet.
Yes. Yet. Watch this space.
But yes, but oh my goodness. I worked with Hay House last week.
There you go.
And literally it blew me away. And I'm sharing this today because the frustrations, the lack of progress, the feeling very alone in my journey was all part of it. And something landed for me to reach out to them and tell them what an impact they have had, because I do tune into them as well in the writing process. I often listen to a meditation before writing. And I don't feel alone anymore. I've got myself in a space with other writers. Was it scary signing onto that first call? Absolutely. When it was 12:30 a.m. on Monday morning, and they said that we were all going to go into breakout rooms and discuss our hook. I saw that end now button again and I thought, I'm not sure I can do this. A, my eyes are only just staying open. B, I was feeling very overwhelmed at this point. And I thought, I don't even know what my book is about right now. But I have been in this situation before when we were in FEA, an incredible business networking group. And I saw the end now button when we had to talk about what our businesses were, and neither of us had a clue. And I didn't. I decided to be me and to just show up and say, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm writing about just now. This is the story. It's great to meet you guys. So I stayed, and obviously when I stayed, that was when we met.
Yeah.
And when I stayed this time, I received support and encouragement, and that was what I was after.
Mm.
Like, it took me to push through that. It's not easy. It is scary. You feel like you're stripped back and this is me, this is it. But what's on the other side of that is that support, is that encouragement, is that connection, is that next level of progress. So yeah, I feel like I've gone a bit all at it there.
No, I've just been, just so engaged, just listening. And I love because you shared this with me, didn't you, after that first the first course on the Monday night, how you were feeling on the Tuesday morning. And I just kind of we just tapped in on that reminder of that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay to have felt all those feelings that you felt in that breakout room of the fear, the uncomfortableness of it.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel. Like, when we both, like you just referred to, were in that breakout room on FEA, and both there was the elevator pitch, whatever you call it.
That was it.
Tip up and pitch your business, or like share what your business idea is. And we're both there like, well, hold on a minute. I don't have one. No, I haven't got one. What are you doing? I haven't got one. However, we stuck around. Was it uncomfortable? Yes. Were we thinking, shit, everybody else has got everything figured out?
Yeah.
Yes. Had they? No. Did we feel supported, connected? Yes. And this is the thing, when you put yourself in a community like that, obviously, which you did last week in the writers community, like we did at FEA, like we do with our members, when you're in that safe environment, that purpose for that space is to be supported, to see new perspectives, to have that next level of vulnerability, to show up as your authentic self and go, guys, I'm here because I want to do something about this. At the moment, I haven't got a blooming clue what it is, but I'm just going to push through that anyway, because you know that when we do that, like you said, on the other side is that support and that encouragement. And not only that, it's the growth. There's the learnings in it and the growth. Like, how much have we grown as people in doing the scary stuff?
I know.
Like, doing the scary stuff has allowed us to grow. So I just think that's wonderful. I just wanted to just touch on that. But back to what the kind of the core topic that we wanted to talk about today was this whole idea of like cause and effect. And yes, we can absolutely be in frustration of, come on, I'm doing all this stuff and I'm not seeing the results, because we can live in this society now of just this expectation of these instant results. Become a millionaire overnight, fast track your way to this, hustle 24 hours to do this. And it's like, no, like, okay, there absolutely are ways of speeding things up. We know this. There absolutely are, 100%. You can work with people, you can shorten the curve. But this instantness, I don't believe in it. Like,
and you know, here's a moment of vulnerability for me. When I first started TAGC, I had that belief and I was like, I'm going to do this. Did I think that financially maybe we'd be in a different space right now? 100%. I thought we would have moved faster. Do I know that's coming? Absolutely. And like, this is a level of vulnerability for me, because we have this idea of, you've been in business for how long, and we think that we should be a certain way along by now. And I want to share, like, we're all on our own journey. For me, I am so abundant in growth right now. We are so abundant in transformations that we are having with ourselves and our members. Like, the way our members are moving, the way we're moving, that has literally been everything. But when I first set out, did I have maybe financial goals in mind? Yeah. I've not reached those yet. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm still abundant, like in
Mm,
so much more.
mm,
So just thought I'd add that
absolutely.
in.
Yeah, yeah, and abundance, you know, yes, financially, but just in life, like you said, I'm so wealthy right now, and I'm not talking about the pounds.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm wealthy in who I have around me, what I do in my days, the women that we work with. I
Hmm.
just feel abundant. And you're right, it's that, you know, there can be that thought, you know, you start a new business, oh, within 12 months, like, because there's so much chatter around, isn't there? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you can do this, you know, 6 figures in 6 days or something
Mm.
ridiculous. It's like, guys, you've got to put in the graft.
Yeah.
You've got to, there's got to be the grit, there's got to be the, you know, you've got to earn it. And I think
Mm.
the beautiful thing is, yeah, we aren't where we want to be financially yet, but there's a deep knowing and there's a deep trust that it'll come, and it'll come at the right time. It
Yeah.
absolutely will. And
And
we do
this,
so much behind the scenes right now that we just we get into that point, aren't we?
yeah.
not to kind of, yeah, we've got stuff. There's stuff moving, isn't there? There's stuff
Hmm.
moving that we're not gonna reveal just yet. But yeah, it's just having that deep level of knowing and that trust that is
It
coming,
is.
which is
It
exciting.
is. And all of these choices have been needed before getting to that next level of goal, you know, that and this is where I just wanted to share that, because it could be very easy for anyone to stop if they've not got to those goals that they had in mind. And this is this next level of trust
Mm,
where we are abundant right now, like so abundant, like literally, like you say, we feel so wealthy, like the messages we receive, the transformations that are happening in the club, like the way we're growing and feeling and being, like all of it, like they are such important choices along the way to keep going with that. And then, like, we know the financial gain is coming at some point, we know it,
yeah.
but that's not what it's about. Like, this is about so much more than that. And I think I just, maybe that shows my level of growth from the beginning to now, is
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have seen that then, you know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
would I have given up easier back then? Yes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that, like,
Mm,
so where it's just these choices of growth and these choices to see everything that we get to us as a lesson, everything that maybe we've put out there, those few things that maybe haven't gone as well as we'd hoped. That is a
yeah.
lesson. That is something to learn, to then take, use, grow, and then go on to the next thing. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And this cause and effect, isn't it? It's the choices we make today are creating tomorrow's future. And they
Yes.
might not necessarily show up instantly tomorrow, but 3, 6, 12, 18 months down the line, the choices we're making today and the next day and the next day will show up then. And so therefore we're creating the life we want to live now, but also for the future. And that's why it's so important to, if we know how to make better choices, that we make better choices, but also being kind and patient with ourselves as we come around to make those better choices.
Yeah.
And it can be quite a big thing to swallow and think that, like, what you're telling me, that I am where I am now because of the choices I've made in the past. Well, that's the cause and effect, isn't it? So
Mm.
it's now looking at that as an idea to say, well, if I'm not particularly happy with where I am in my life now, I've got a couple of choices. I continue in the way I have done and the way I have been,
Yeah.
and thinking about that in a logical sense. Is that going to create different results? It's probably not, is it? It's probably going to create similar or a liken to
Mm.
where you are now. So it's just taking a step back for a moment and going, well, what do I want my life to look like? How do I want it to be different? And therefore, what different choices can I make? What is in my control? Because there's so much out of our control. We must remember that.
Yeah.
And that's why we must be kind to ourselves on this journey, because there's a lot out of our control. So it's really shifting that focus back to what can I control and what different choices can I make to give me different results. And it is a bit of trial and error, isn't it? Like, you could
Right.
try a different approach and it'd be like, well, that didn't work either. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, but it's giving yourself that space and the time to see the result, because it's not, 9 times out of 10, it's not instant. It's allowing ourselves that space to to see the results later on, but also keeping at it and not getting disheartened because it's
Yes.
not there, boom, well, I've woken up today and my life hasn't been overhauled.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's like being in it for the long game,
Mhm.
and being patient with ourselves.
100%. Two Charlottes just came to my head when you were talking about that then. Like literally when I was in that frustration and I was a stay-at-home mum and I felt like I'd not used a laptop in 5 years. I felt like I was very out of touch. I felt like I didn't know what I enjoyed anymore. Really stuck in that phase. And yes, telling me this then would have been a very hard pill to swallow. But when I look back at that Charlotte, the choices she was making was to stay in that cycle, was to not do anything about it. Like she, not knowingly, not, and if I say this with love to her, because she wasn't ready yet. But what I was doing was giving my power away. Like I, over the years, have made choices to not get involved with, for example, here we go, our family finances. Dale did everything and I didn't do it. Like Charlotte today that has moved, that has made these better choices, that has decided to trust and walk on the way, follow her heart, do all of these things, knows that she has to understand finances and has taken that power back. So that was really clear in my head, actually. But I just can see these two Charlottes making very different choices and how that one led me to a bit of a, not a dead end, that sounds quite harsh, but like a, this is it, like, is this it kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Whereas this Charlotte has made all of these choices, the choice to understand finances, the choice to see what's possible, the choice to not people please anymore and save some of my own energy for me. Like, you know, all of these choices have got me to here. And it's just opened my life up like there is no tomorrow. And I'm like, I had this thought the other day. I was like, I have so many goals. I just don't know which. And so many dreams. I'm just like, have I overwhelmed myself a little bit? I haven't. But how amazing is that? I've got so many places I want to go, so many things that I want to experience. And I'm excited for the journey of them all.
That's amazing. And just what you just said about Charlotte before, excuse me, how hearing that would be tough. And I totally get that. I totally get that. And just to reflect on that, it's not saying that those choices of the old Charlotte were wrong or bad in any way. They just were. They were just the choices that were made, and that's okay. So I think it's giving ourselves this unconditional love and showing ourselves that it's okay. Yes, we are where we are now because of the choices we made, but that's okay. It's not to berate ourselves and kick ourselves down further. Go, they're bad choices. Look what I've done. It's just to pause and stop and go, right, I now have a choice from here on out. Do I want to keep making the same ones?
Yeah.
Or do I want to make different ones? And we may not know at the time if they're going to be better or not. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
It's always having this notion of being open to the idea that we're always doing the best with what we have or the best with what we know.
Yeah.
And if that's all we're doing, that's more than enough.
100%.
And then it's taking that idea further that when we know better, we do better. And that is a choice.
Yeah.
And that is when that self-discipline comes in. And when that consistency comes in and you go, shit, I know better, but I don't want to. Like getting up at 5:55 a.m.
Yes.
You know, like those sort of things.
But then that becomes easy. And this is it.
Does.
This is where it's all a journey. Like I needed that stuck phase. I needed to get to that. I don't like calling it a dead end, but that place of stuckness, frustration, to see all that I needed to see. Because that's made me who I am today. So wherever you are right now, if you're listening to this and if you do think, oh, like, yeah, I am making all the same choices right now, and start small. Think about literally how you can grab a little bit more of your power back today. Because there is, if I could go back and tell that Charlotte anything, it's that she is blooming powerful and she does not have a clue how powerful she is yet. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, that has been my biggest learning through this journey. And if I can tell anybody listening to this right now, you are powerful. Like, you have so much within you. Don't wait to let it out. Just grab a bit more, and a bit more back with every day that passes. That could look like understanding your finances and not shying away from things. It could look like saying no to that plan because you just think, do you know what? No, I need to rest a little bit more today. One of my little things that I've done along the way is to stop saying sorry.
Oh God, yeah,
I'm still,
absolutely. Stop apologizing for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, literally someone would bump into me and I'd say sorry, and then I'm like,
yes.
oh. So I vividly remember those times of going, whoa, Charlotte, keep that in. You're fine.
It's when you catch yourself in the moment, isn't it? And that's the awareness we get from doing this inner work, which is magical.
Yeah.
It's that shift. It's the boundaries, saying no when you mean yes, and yes when you mean no. It's like no because I mean no, but it's coming from a place of love. Yes, because I want to, and it's coming from a place of love. All those little bits of magic. And you're right, whoever's listening has everything they need within them now to start. You don't need to wait till tomorrow. You don't need to wait till the perfect time. You don't need to wait until. You can start now with the smallest of changes. But asking yourself, what small thing could you do differently today? You could even start with just asking yourself, how do you feel? It's one of the best questions to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
That so many of us just don't. Like, how do I feel? You don't need to write it down. You can just think about it in the moment. Give yourself 5 minutes. Or if you want to write it down, we encourage that.
Yeah, we love
and we know, and we know within minutes you'll be in pages and pages of feelings and thoughts. But it leads to such greatness. And like you've reflected on past Charlotte and current Charlotte, that the world is just your oyster now. Like, so excited to see what's possible. And whatever you put your mind to, whatever you believe, you can achieve. And that's exciting. And every one of us can.
Yeah. Like, there is no limit. What is this limit that we put on ourselves? Like I say, I relate to like anyone feeling stuck. Like, I hadn't used a laptop in 5 years, and now we run an online business. That's bonkers. I remember first getting the laptop up and being like, felt like an alien. Like, literally, what do I do again? Words. Like, where are the things? Like, I vividly remember that. Like, oh God, you're just so powerful. You've just got to decide to just grab that power back and see what's possible.
Absolutely. Oh, as always, we are here for you. We are literally an email, a direct message away. We really are. And we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. And if you go and do something differently today or whenever you listen to this, let us know. We'd love to celebrate you in that.
Yeah.
Or if you're feeling stuck or frustrated in some way, share that with us. And as I say, we are from the bottom of our hearts. We're here to help you. So
absolutely. And we received some wonderful messages over the weekend from you listeners, and honestly, I cannot tell you how much it made our day. So if you do get a moment, if you were enjoying the podcast, whether it's your first one, whether you've listened to a few episodes prior and this is helping you, it really does mean the world to us if you grab a minute and just leave us a little review. And we have something exciting coming, don't we?
We do.
We are moving.
Is this the last? Sorry, can't look at us both. This is the last podcast episode. Get my words right. Not ever. Don't panic, guys. We're not leaving you of this series.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! So next week we're launching
Series 2. Get so excited. Oh, we're having a little rebrand. And we are taking this podcast to the next level. We have so much that we want to share with you guys. And it's coming from an even, how can I word this? An even more heart-led open space that we just cannot wait to speak from this place, can we, Kat? This is what our growth has led us to, and we're just so excited to share the goodness in that. So there is so much goodness coming.
I can't wait for next week's. Can I sneaky peek or not?
Yeah, go for it.
what it's
Go
about.
for it.
Next week, we're launching episode 2? Series 2. See, I
Yeah.
always get episodes. I do this with Netflix. No, it's like Cat. We're on series 3, not episode. Right, we're launching series 2, episode 1 of series 2 next week, and we're going to be talking. I'm going to be talking about how I left my dream job. I just threw it in, my dream job, and I completely rewrote my story. And I can't wait to share that.
Oh, I'm so excited for this episode.
It's juicy.
It is juicy. I can't wait. Amazing.
Right.
So yes, make
We'll
sure you
leave
tune
you.
in next week, guys, and make sure you're also following the show, because that means you get a notification when that episode lands, which is always helpful. So yeah, sending you all so much love. Have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time you're listening to this, and we will speak to you very soon.
Speak soon, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.